is 9 News with Dougal Beatty.
Good afternoon. The King and Queen have been interrupted by loud outbursts from Victorian Senator Lydia Thorpe in Parliament's Great Hall. The senator was escorted away after accusing the monarchy of genocide and declaring, "You are not my king." Political editor Charles Croucher reports.
Rarely is Parliament House forecourt so crowded, but then rarely are there royals in town. About 1,000 people lining up the sides of the forecourt and even up the hills to see the King and Queen as they made their way to Canberra. And then doing what they've done so regularly throughout this short trip so far, and that is getting out and meeting the people that have travelled to say hello to their new King and Queen. They did the same here at Parliament House. The formal part involved inspecting the Federation Guard inside Parliament House. There was a reception in the Great Hall. This was a quick stop at Parliament House, unlike monarchs in the past that have stayed here in Canberra and really made an event of speaking to Parliament. This very informal, much more relaxed. Here's part of what happened.
The regular role of unprecedented events is an unmistakable sign of climate change, to which Australia is so particularly vulnerable. This is why Australia's international leadership on global initiatives to protect our climate and biodiversity is of such absolute and critical importance.
And then it was out here to Parliament's forecourt, where all those people had waited all that time meeting and greeting the King and Queen. There are other stops scheduled this afternoon on the trip to Canberra, but none with the opportunity for the public to get up close and personal with the royals, and that's why so many are still waiting so long to meet the King and Queen.
Meantime, the first stop in Canberra for the royal couple today was the Australian War Memorial, the King and Queen sharing some solemn moments and greeting royal fans. Kate Creedon has more.
It's an historic day for Canberra, and here at the Australian War Memorial, a crowd of more than 4,000 gathered in the sunshine to catch a glimpse of royalty, and the King and Queen didn't disappoint. A big cheer went out as they arrived, meeting with the Governor-General as they headed inside. King Charles laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier in the Hall of Memory, and Queen Camilla laying a floral tribute before the last post was played and they observed a minute's silence. They then headed outside the War Memorial where the crowds had lined the road. Charles and Camilla taking their time to chat to as many people as possible, shaking hands and accepting flowers and even a few toy kangaroos, those who waited absolutely over the moon.
Oh, it was amazing. It was
absolutely incredible.
It
we
was
didn't
incredible.
Expect it. I didn't get to shake the King's hand, but I got to shake Queen Camilla's hand. It was so good.
The atmosphere was absolutely tremendous.
Before they left, they toured the For Our Country Memorial, a memorial which commemorates our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who've served the country.
Oh, it's a wonderful experience just to see the crowd and so many happy people, and then to be afforded that time to actually escort the King and Queen down to the For Our Country Memorial. It's going to be a memory I'll never forget.
But as soon as the King and Queen left, the crowds disappeared too, chuffed to have been a part of history.
Stamp duty will be slashed on all apartments, units and townhouses purchased off the plan in Victoria as part of a bold move by the state government to turbocharge housing supply. State political reporter Heidi Murphy joins us with the details. Heidi, this will impact thousands of buyers.
Well, Dougal, that is certainly the intention, though it's unclear just how many buyers it will actually help at this stage. The government's only expecting it to shave $55 million off the state's $8 billion yearly stamp duty tax take, but the Premier believes it will help with the housing crisis. On day 2 of what's going to be a week-long series of announcements, she's declared these concession changes that will greatly drop the tax on a purchase that's made off the plan. It will only be available for the next year, starting from today, and the hope is it will speed up the pre-sale of off-the-plan dwellings and get them underway a lot faster.
This initiative is designed to do 3 things: build more homes, and build more homes. I want to fight for everyone who is sick of having the goalpost shifted. Fight for those younger Victorians who need a government fighting for them.
Under Premier Jacinta Allen, in her vision of Victoria, you don't get a voice and you don't get a choice. It's apartments for everybody. Make no mistake, this change, which will cost the budget around $55 million, is not likely to affect any project that has not yet started.
Dougal, we are expecting more announcements, as I say, to come every day this week along these sorts of lines, all aimed at convincing voters the government is firmly focused on fixing the housing crisis.
A big week ahead. Heidi Murphy, thank you. Well, Qantas has been ordered to pay compensation to almost 2,000 workers over their illegal sackings. Federal Court Justice Michael Lee has determined compensation is warranted for hurt and suffering, as well as economic loss limited to a year after the airline's outsourcing decision. The heartbroken family of Andrew Truman have pleaded with the man accused of killing him to turn himself into police. He was remembered by friends and family in a moving service this afternoon in Hoppers Crossing. The 44-year-old died after suffering catastrophic injuries in a late-night attack in Melbourne CBD. Police believe his alleged attacker, Todd Menegaldo, has gone to ground, hiding with friends somewhere in the city. Donald Trump has dished out French fries during a campaign stunt at a McDonald's drive-thru, right as his rival for the White House, Kamala Harris, celebrated a special birthday in Georgia. US correspondent Jonathan Kersley reports.
Donald Trump pulled off a high-profile, highly orchestrated campaign stop, turning his hand to the chip fryer and serving supporters at the McDonald's drive-thru window. It was all done in the crucial state of Pennsylvania, the state that could decide who wins the keys to the White House. The former president and Republican candidate in the 2024 race made this trip, having criticised Kamala Harris after she said she used to work at the fast food chain. Donald Trump had claimed without evidence that she didn't. Today, the former president cooked the fries, bagged the fries, as he hopes to bag himself an election victory.
I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Mr. President,
yes.
Please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
Well, we'll keep it good. Look at the crowd over there. Look how happy everybody is. They're happy because they want hope.
On her 60th birthday, Kamala Harris was preaching her message of hope at largely black American churches in another battleground state of Georgia, as she tries to boost her support among that community. The Vice President receiving a birthday gift of song from Stevie Wonder. The Democratic candidate also had a warning for the future of the country.
Our country is at a crossroads, and where we go from here is up to us.
Election Day is 16 days away.
After the break in Nine's afternoon news, stamp duty slashed on apartments and units, what it means for buyers next, and London's Hyde Park full of fans and flowers for One Direction star Liam Payne.
This week is organised chaos.
It's some sort of chaos symphony. Bring it in!
The craziest.
I've never seen so many trucks, so many guys operating in the one place.
Most chaotic week in block history.
He's just drilling. There's live power, there's sewer through these joints. There's just stuff going on here that we can't accept. This site is shutting at 6 o'clock tonight. Thank you.
Backyard Paradise. Tonight, 7:30 on 9.
Start planning your next trip with Qantas Hotels and Holidays, where the dress code is robe and slippers, and the only call you'll make is to room service, where your toughest decision is beach or pool, and your only appointment is at the day spa, where you can swim to your next drink, and you get a front row seat to every sunset. When you can earn and use Qantas points on every booking, you can't help but wonder, where next? Search Qantas Hotels and Holidays today.
Install 3P Solar's massive 6.6 kilowatt premium home system, discounted to a lowest ever $39.91, potentially down to an incredible $11.91 out of pocket after Victorian government rebate and loan.
Call 1300 37 36 37.
So don't let a chip spoil your trip.
Is that a chip?
That happens a lot, but O'Brien could have helped. A chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener than a new windscreen. And with car insurance, it's usually free. So don't let that little chip spoil your trip. Book today.
What's going on?
I spilt water on your laptop, so I'm just drying it.
Where are you going to get the money to buy me a new one?
Wallet Wizard! Fast and easy cash loans. walletwizard.com.au.
With Cold Power's unique cold water enzyme, clothes live on and on.
Cliff Richard returns to Australia with his Can't Stop Me Now tour. Don't miss one of Britain's all-time greatest hitmakers. Live at Melbourne's Palais Theatre, November 2025. Tickets and info at melonevents.com.
With advanced air filters and whisper-quiet operation, everything inside a Mitsubishi electric air conditioner is carefully designed to truly elevate your comfort.
Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed battery with dual safety monitoring technology, all for a guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
Want a more loaded burger that really delivers? Get Domino's new The Lot Burger Pizza. 100% Aussie beef, crispy bacon, American cheese, all on a pizza designed for delivery. Try the pizza or get the box today.
It's Australia by train. Explore coastlines and capital cities on the Great Southern. Book now and save. Search the Great Southern today. A journey beyond experience.
Stamp duty will be cut for all apartments, units and townhouses purchased off the plan as the Allen government moves to make it easier to buy and build homes. It's all part of a raft of housing announcements by the state government this week. And for more on these developments, we're joined by Kath Evans, Victorian Executive Director of the Property Council of Australia. Good afternoon to you, Kath. Is this welcome news?
Fantastic news. Fantastic news for anyone looking at entering the housing market. Clearly there will be significant savings to be made with these new stamp duty concessions which have been introduced today.
It looks like it's really stimulating that investor-developer market sector. Is that going to fix the housing crisis?
I think this is a package which is available to anyone wanting to enter the housing market. Clearly first home buyers, people looking to downsize, people looking to change suburbs. This is just a great opportunity to think differently about how you might be living currently and also to enter the market as a new entrant.
Off the plan has a bit of a checkered history though. Many of those developments, they fall in value by about 15% when they're resold. That's not really helping anyone, is it?
Look, the evidence is strong that the apartment market in terms of quality has clearly improved over the years. There is incredible product out there for consumers to look at that offers all types of amenity and different offerings for different stages of life.
If they fall in value, which a lot of these do, that's not really going to entice people to buy. Would you accept that?
I think people really need to be, aware of what they're entering into, the location, the quality of the build, and those issues will really determine whether those properties hold value over time.
It's a big discussion around stamp duty. It's always been a bugbear of many people. In fact, the PCA doesn't really like it. Is it available to remove that altogether? Is that ever on the table?
Look, that would clearly be something we would strongly advocate for and have done in the past, but given the current climate, that's not something that would be possible with the economic cycle we're in right now.
Are you in discussions with the state government about that?
We're certainly in discussions about a range of other reforms to try and assist the property market right itself. As everybody knows, it's been going through a very complex time with rising interest rates. Construction costs have all had a very negative impact on the market. So we're looking for further tax reforms to really help stimulate that market again and keep people building new homes, which Victoria desperately needs.
What would you like to see?
We'd like to see initiatives like the creation of special economic zones as it relates to the new activity centres which have just been announced. We'd like to see foreign investors re-enter the market and relax some of the surcharges which have been put in place for foreign investors. We'd also like to see some further initiatives to really help developers get through the build cycle with some tax relief to improve the feasibility of construction in Victoria at the moment.
You mentioned the activity centres. There will be 50 new activity centres around train stations in Melbourne. I think Bayside residents aren't too happy about that. Would you support sort of high-rise developments of about 20 levels across the suburbs?
Look, it's very clear that we need to increase density in our established areas in Melbourne if we're going to come close to meeting our housing targets. And clearly those suburbs which have got very well developed infrastructure are well placed to increase housing density. The question of building height is one which will be worked through with the consultation process which the government is undertaking with communities which have been earmarked for activity centres, and certainly the building height of 20 storeys has been suggested for one or another activity centre, but there's been no commitment for the full raft of activity centres to have building heights at that level.
I mean, we talk about buildings of 20 levels. Do you think we're going to see them in the suburbs anytime soon? Because we know that it takes a long time to generate and get that construction underway.
I don't think we will see them anytime soon. As you say, it is a long process to acquire land, go through a planning process, the design process, and build construction, bring those projects to market. So it will be several years before we see that product hit our local communities.
The government's been criticised by not having enough detail in this policy. Would you like to see more detail, and soon?
There will be detail released in due course. We will see further announcements made about additional activity centres at the end of the year. That's the government's intention, and the planning scheme amendments will be gazetted in December this year, and so at that time we will see more detail about what's intended.
A long road ahead. Kath Evans, thanks very much for your time here this afternoon. The foster mother of missing boy William Tyrrell claims police have done nothing to figure out what happened to him for years. Detectives named the woman, who cannot be identified, as a person of interest and allege she disposed of the then 3-year-old's body. She has released a statement to news.com.au saying she loved William fiercely and claimed police were persecuting her. Israel has unleashed fresh strikes on Beirut, targeting Hezbollah financial institutions, while southern Lebanon and Gaza have also been under siege. More from Europe correspondent Hannah Sinclair.
Well, Israel's military has launched a large number of attacks in Beirut, targeting sites used to finance Hezbollah. In southern Lebanon, the IDF says it's used explosives to destroy a vast underground route used by Hezbollah, while across the border 160 rockets have sparked fires in northern Israel. It comes after the Hamas-run health ministry says a large number of people have been killed by an Israeli airstrike on northern Gaza. Distressing images from the scene show children among the dead, with the UN warning the nightmare in Gaza is intensifying. But the IDF claims the number of people killed in the strike has been exaggerated by Hamas. Oxfam officials say the situation in northern Gaza is becoming increasingly desperate, with many people going hungry.
Since the 1st of October, as you know, between the 1st of October and the 14th of October, nothing entered the north. Just an absolute nightmarish, hellish situation.
And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has convened his security cabinet to discuss the country's response to Iran's ballistic missile attack. So sadly, it looks like the violence is set to continue.
One person has died after being swept away in their car as floods continue to wreak havoc in Italy. Heavy rain causing multiple rivers to burst their banks in the country's north. Firefighters have conducted over 300 search operations, rescuing trapped residents and pets. Dozens of people have been evacuated and schools in the region remain closed. There's been a fresh outpouring of grief at vigils around the world for former One Direction singer Liam Payne, who fell to his death from a hotel balcony in Argentina. In London's Hyde Park, flowers and messages were piled high under the statue of Peter Pan, some fans breaking into song.
Everybody's pretty emotional, supporting each other. Yeah, very sad.
He's someone's son, a dad, a brother. You know, it's just tragic.
There were similar scenes of heartbreak in Paris, Madrid and other European cities. When we return, under attack, 2 workers threatened at gunpoint during a Shepparton store raid. The search continues for a grandfather still missing weeks after he was discharged from Frankston Hospital. And in sport, Scott Boland's welcome return from injury as a young gun fails to fire.
Who pinched Gurpreet's election posters?
Apple A-tag, I'm going to hide inside my signs.
The Great Council heist, who done it?
We are only 100 metres away.
Gurpreet's rival, Bollywood singing Jazz, says it wasn't him.
Are you lying right now, Jazz? 100% not.
A current affair tonight.
Right now at Woolworths, discover great weekly specials across the store, like half price on selected diet and sports brands, including Masashi, BSC, Quest and Fat Blaster. That's today's fresh food people.
Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed battery with dual safety monitoring technology, all for a guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
Over 100 built-in safety features around you for truly surprise-free driving. New Haval Jolyon. Truly surprising.
Ladies, is the need to wee all the time making your life a misery? Caruso's Wee Less to the rescue. Caruso's Wee Less contains Schisandra chinensis, a fruit extract traditionally used in Chinese medicine to relieve urinary frequency. So if your need to wee all the time is getting in the way of your social life, try Caruso's Wee Less today. Caruso's Wee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores.
With Cold Power's unique cold water enzyme, clothes live on and on.
We all want financial security to be able to weather the uncertain times. Invest in La Trobe Financial's multi-award-winning 12-month term account with income paid monthly.
Are you looking for expert advice on secure, comfortable dentures? Tired of not being able to eat what you want? Rediscover your appetite for life with our secure and stable Snap-on implant dentures at Rock Solid Implants and Dentures in Clayton. Our highly trained team can help improve your confidence and your smile with Snap-on dentures. Available now from an affordable $6,995. Call Rock Solid Implants and Dentures today.
The cost of living is out of control, especially electricity prices, and now they're expected to soar by a further 47%. Can you believe that? That's why we invested in a solar battery from Australia's largest installer, Solar Battery Group. Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed, market-leading solar battery with dual safety monitoring technology, ensuring automated shutdown for unparalleled fire protection. Latest energy management software, full system and safety check of your existing solar, plus detailed return on investment reports. All for Australia's guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
This sports report brought to you by Medibank, superfans of the AFLW.
Scott Boland has made a successful return from injury, guiding Victoria to a dominant position in their Sheffield Shield clash against New South Wales. Boland took the key wicket of young gun and Test hopeful Sam Qantas for just 2. Steve Smith fared a little better, removed for 3 as the Blues' top order failed to make an impact. New South Wales all out for just 136, only half of Victoria's first innings score. New Zealand has won a T20 World Cup for the very first time. The White Ferns defeated South Africa by 32 runs in their Dubai decider. Amelia Kerr starring with the bat and ball. It's the country's second ICC title, men's or women's, after the White Ferns' maiden one-day crown 24 years ago. Well, Team Australia will begin the summer of tennis in a blockbuster tie against Team Great Britain. Nicole Dunn was there for the United Cup draw.
It's official. Team Australia will begin their quest for United Cup glory here in Sydney in December, drawn in Group F alongside Great Britain and another country that's yet to qualify. Team captain Leighton Hewitt admitting he was given strict instructions from Alex de Minaur not to be grouped alongside his girlfriend, Katie Bolter.
We played them against them last year in Perth as well. It's a tough one, obviously. Alex's girlfriend, Katie Bolter's in the team as well. So you have to put that to the side, but they've got quality players. Katie's at a career high ranking at the moment and had a great year.
A much bigger concern for de Minaur is his looming matchup against Jack Jabra, the rising star who sent the Demon packing from the US Open earlier this year.
His past matches against Jack have been really tough ones, though, that he's been able to get over the line. But he loves playing here at Ken Rosewell Arena as well, so he's going to love getting out there and having the crowd fully behind him. And yeah, it's great preparation for the Australian Open.
Australia's top-ranked male is still dealing with a hip injury that forced him to miss the Olympics and ended his promising Wimbledon campaign in July. But Hewitt is confident he'll be good to go for the summer of tennis.
After, I guess, making the round of 16 in the Australian Open, the last three majors, he's made quarterfinals, and he's had really a breakout year, really cementing himself in the top 10 in the world as well. So it's frustrating that he hasn't been able to get those match practice, I guess, under his belt leading into the end of the year, but that's certainly what he's trying to do over the next month.
Defending champions Team Germany will take on Brazil and China in the group stage in Perth, which is where top seeds Team USA will take on Canada and another unqualified country. It is shaping up to be a blockbuster third edition of the United Cup. All of the action is live and free here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Liverpool has surged to the top of the Premier League table after the Reds defeated Chelsea 2-1 at Anfield. It was their 7th win from 8 matches, but Manchester City is just 1 point behind after a late goal against the Wolves snatched their own 2-1 victory. Charles Leclerc has claimed victory in the United States Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz was second and Max Verstappen third in Texas as the Dutchman extended his lead in the driver's standings. It was another strong showing for Melbourne's Oscar Piastri, who finished 5th. To the rest of the day's news now, and 2 hooded thugs are on the run following an armed robbery at a tobacco shop in Shepparton. Armed with a large knife and firearm, one man stole cigarettes while the other pointed the gun at the women and demanded cash just before close on the 30th of September. Before leaving the store, they marched back in, forcing the manager to empty the contents of the till into a bag. They fled in a dark-coloured Ford Falcon sedan. A Frankston family is pleading for the public's help to find a loving grandfather who went missing in May. As Mimi Becker reports, police have released new footage as they ramp up their search efforts.
Detectives and SES crews have started a 5-day search, canvassing the streets of Frankston as they look for any sign of missing man Ronan Clark. It's been 143 days since the loving grandfather was last seen. He was spotted walking past Connecticut Stadium in Frankston South at 6:45 on the 28th of May. It was just 3 hours after the now 55-year-old was discharged from the Frankston Hospital after an overnight stay.
It's been very difficult without our dad the last few months. He's just had a birthday. We've had Father's Day without our dad there. And it feels like something very big is missing in our family.
Ronan lives with an acquired brain injury and needs regular medication for epilepsy. Police hold grave concerns for his welfare.
We're looking for I suppose you could call it a needle in a haystack, that there's some CCTV footage or some information that someone has that is valuable in us trying to give the family some clarity on what's taken place with Ronan's disappearance.
Now, police are not treating Ronan's disappearance as suspicious. They called in the SES today to help drop flyers to residents' letterboxes, while Ronan's family say him going missing is completely out of character.
He was a home person, so he didn't have a lot of friends. His best friend was his carer, which is my eldest son.
and he's lost at the moment.
Anyone with information is being urged to come forward and speak to police.
More to come this hour, including the King heckled by Senator Lydia Thorpe in an outburst at Parliament House. Loving tributes for Andrew Truman, killed in a violent CBD attack. And the proof thousands of Melbourne drivers have been wrongly stunned, and 9 News investigation next.
On a No Mercy Monday.
Oh, she was so lovely earlier. I changed quick.
The competition's getting fierce.
Pretty hard questions there.
Who will land the knockout blow?
Next question is vital.
And bring home the win. Tipping Point, tonight at 5 on 9.
At Viking, we've thought of everything so you don't have to. Unpack once and we'll take care of the rest.
Viking's Flight Crew sale is on now. For a limited time, enjoy free return flights for your companion with all ocean voyage bookings. Visit Viking.com or see your Viking agent.
The cost of living is out of control, especially electricity prices, and now they're expected to soar by a further 47%. Can you believe that? That's why we invested in a solar battery from Australia's largest installer, Solar Battery Group. Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed, market-leading solar battery with dual safety monitoring technology, ensuring automated shutdown for unparalleled fire protection. Latest energy management software, full system and safety check of your existing solar, plus detailed return on investment reports. All for Australia's guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
So what are you looking for? The best. If you're after the best house on the block, head into E&S this October for massive savings on some of the biggest bathroom brands. Caroma is an iconic Australian brand with over 80 years of bathroom innovation, which I believe has impeccable quality suited to all Australian homes. Right now, save up to 20% across our bathroom range. Our consultants are bathroom experts, and we won't be beaten on price. Shop in store or online and get value the E&S way.
Jim's Electrical, powered by experience and thousands of successful installations. Home, office or warehouse, big jobs or small. Trust Jim's Electrical for everything electrical. Jim's Electrical, 131 546.
On average, women are doing 113% more housework than men. And the reason?
I don't know how to do it.
Well, lucky for you, Co makes getting an incredible clean incredibly simple. It's safe, it's simple, it's Co.
When there are issues with your bathroom grout and you need someone to sort it out.
Stop leaking showers and balconies without removing tiles. Visit megasealed.com.au.
Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed battery with dual safety monitoring technology, all for a guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
Medicines just got cheaper for a range of ongoing health conditions.
Really pleased. Yeah, I feel relieved.
Now, more PBS medicines can be prescribed for 60 days, giving you twice the medication on a single prescription.
Saving you money and time.
Ask your doctor if a 60-day prescription is right for you, or visit health.gov.au/cheaper medicines.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
It's the season finale.
Is it appropriate to ask your partner how many people they've slept with? Actually, I'm not going to.
The 100, Tuesday on 9.
Victorian Senator Lydia Thorpe has disrupted a special welcome to Parliament House for the King and Queen, accusing the monarchy of genocide and declaring, "You are not my king." Here's that moment.
Give us our land back! Give us what you stole from us! Our bones, our skulls, our babies, our people! You destroyed our land! Give us a treaty! Give us our land back!
King Charles and Queen Camilla watched quietly from the stage in the Great Hall as the drama unfolded. Senator Thorpe was ushered away by security. And the King and Queen have been warmly welcomed by royal fans on the first day of their Australian tour in Canberra. Ruth Wynne-Williams has been following their movements.
The royal couple going their separate ways. The King enacting his role as head of state.
Meeting the opposition leader at Government House, the first time monarchist Peter Dutton has met His Majesty, despite being an outspoken supporter of the monarchy, then going on to meet Prime Minister Albanese. It is the third official audience our Republican Prime Minister has had with His Majesty, meeting once at the King's coronation and at the Queen's funeral. They did also meet casually the other night when the royal couple arrived in Sydney. In the meeting today, the King has signed the warrant for the Royal Seal, authorising its use on official documents in this country. This marks a significant handover from the late Queen, who in 1973 authorised the seal that had been in use until now. While His Majesty did that, Queen Camilla was able to spend time at a discussion on the issue of domestic violence, hosted by Governor-General Sam Mostyn, meeting with academics and campaigners like Rosie Beatty, and the E-Safety Commissioner was there as well. It is an area in which the Queen is known to be passionate about making change, and a bid to show Australians she is committed to helping with the social issues that matter in our country right now. This afternoon she'll also meet with other charities. The pair back together though very shortly at the Botanic Gardens.
Stamp duty will be slashed for all off-the-plan units, townhouses and apartments as part of a 12-month plan by the state government to make housing more affordable. The concession will be uncapped and open to all buyers.
For example, if you're looking at purchasing an apartment worth around $620,000, these changes will reduce those stamp duty costs from $32,000 down to $4,000.
Make no mistake, this change, which will cost the budget around $55 million, is not likely to affect any project that has not yet started.
Victorians who have purchased off-the-plan apartments, units or townhouses which are under construction may also be eligible. Well, Qantas has been ordered by the federal court to pay compensation to 3 former workers sacked during the COVID-19 pandemic. Alex Heinke reports.
A bad day for Qantas, a good day for some 1,700 of its former staff, with the federal court ruling they were illegally sacked by the airline during the COVID-19 pandemic. The ruling today that 3 ground handling workers, including Damien Pollard and Don Dixon, were dismissed illegally during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a legal battle they've been fighting for the past 4 years.
What a victory against almost like our mother and father. Was the family working for Qantas. It was family.
I loved working at Qantas. I expected to be there till I retired, and when this happened, it was an absolute shock.
The Flying Kangaroo ordered today to pay $170,000 in compensation to the 3 former workers. Now, that's not much, considering the company made $1.25 billion last financial year, but this win is a test flight of sorts, the tip of the iceberg for the other 1,700 dismissed staff waiting in the wings.
This was a decision about 3 test cases. It now has to be applied to every other illegally sacked worker to determine the global figure that Qantas has to pay.
In total, that compensation figure could be close to $100 million, and that might double if the court orders industry penalties as well. So another blow to Qantas. After a year, the company will want to forget.
Police believe alleged killer Todd Menegaldo could be using a disguise to hide after the unprovoked late-night attack that killed Andrew Truman. Today, the beloved Western Bulldogs fan was farewelled by friends and family. Lana Murphy has more.
It's been 12 days since Andrew Truman was walking here along Elizabeth Street when he was punched by a coward and killed. And today, those who loved him most gathered to honour the larrikin, many donned in the colours of his favourite footy team, the Western Bulldogs.
He was very more than passionate about the Western Bulldogs. I've heard stories that he could get a bit upset when they lost.
Those at the memorial in Hoppers Crossing focused on how Andrew lived. Despite an intellectual disability and cerebral palsy, he built himself a life where he could live independently and thrive. Music, karaoke and pride events among his favourite things to do. The only thing he loved more was football. He watched it, played it and talked about it whenever he could.
Watch the boys, watch the men, watch the women. Yep, not a problem. Loved it.
He was a regular at Flinders Street Station venue Clocks, and it wasn't long after he left there on Wednesday, October 9, when he was attacked. He fell to the ground and sustained critical head injuries.
We're still a bit numb about what's happened with Andrew.
He was just so vibrant. He loved to meet people. He loved to help people.
His family took him off life support 3 days later and he became an organ donor.
And I believe there's about 6 people that had their lives bettered as a result. That's a good thing that's come out.
Police are hunting his suspected killer, Todd Menegaldo. The homeless man remains a fugitive. They believe he's in disguise and deliberately avoiding detection. He goes by the name Rooster and spends his time in Elizabeth and Flinders Street, but also visits Bendigo and Mildura. These new images released on Friday. Detectives say Andrew and his attacker knew each other from spending time in the CBD. They believe the assault was targeted but entirely unprovoked. Todd Menegaldo is about 180 centimetres tall and is often seen with a dog, a black and white Staffy, but police believe he may have given that to friends while he avoids detection.
The City of Melbourne has been accused of slugging thousands of motorists with parking fines they didn't deserve. Reid Butler has led this exclusive investigation. He joins us in the studio now. Good afternoon to you, Reid. A whistleblower has come forward with damning evidence.
Afternoon, Dougal. Yeah, that's right. One of the best things about being a journalist, as you know, is getting tips. And I actually got this tip in the mail, old school here. A whistleblower's letter and photographic evidence exposing serious flaws within the City of Melbourne's parking system. So these are tech flaws that are leading to motorists being incorrectly fined. So what this whistleblower has revealed here is that the parking inspectors' handheld devices that they hold and fine off, so that's what they base their fines off, aren't communicating with the meters. So we've got photos there showing that the handheld device is saying that the bay that a car's parked in has expired from a time perspective, but that's not actually the case. The meter shows that it's actually in credit, so that communication isn't occurring, and then what's happening is the motorist is getting a fine when they haven't actually done anything wrong at all. So I mentioned the whistleblower here from within the parking branch of the City of Melbourne sent through a letter. Among the other claims is that these concerns have been raised with the top brass within that department and ignored. Here is a portion of that letter now.
City of Melbourne Parking Director and Compliance Lead have failed to rectify this matter, and what is of more concern is the officers have spoken to them numerous times and they have not informed officers to stop issuing fines.
It is really concerning and it erodes your trust in the system. The City of Melbourne has told me that there are faults ever since the new technology was rolled out about 3 years ago, upgrading sensors and parking meters, but they do claim they act on those issues quickly when they arise, something that the whistleblower obviously disagrees with. Dougal, I'll leave you with this interesting fact. We'll have more on this at 6 o'clock tonight, but this interesting fact I learned as part of this investigation. The City of Melbourne is planning on raking in more than $40 million worth of parking fines alone this financial year. So parking fines, obviously very big business for any council, especially the City of Melbourne. And when you have errors like this, it just makes you shake your head.
Huge amount of money. Reid Butler, we look forward to your full report tonight at 6.
Thanks, Dougal.
Well, the number of people signing up for Australia's biggest financial literacy program has spiked as more people try and get ahead of the toughest economy in decades. Finance editor Chris Kohler.
Saver Plus is a 10-month financial literacy and match savings program, and this year it's had a 42% spike in participation. ANZ CEO Shane Elliott says the cohort is getting younger.
We know that younger families, younger Australians, people who are renting, have been more exposed to cost of living than others.
Part of the reason could be inadequate financial education in schools.
The program itself builds the skills and the confidence and the capability to have a savings habit and to grow your financial well-being.
The program involves 5 online workshops over 10 months. Any money saved is matched by the bank up to $500. And former participants like Cara Rogers say the habits stick.
I now teach my kids the very same things that I've learned. So every week when we do our budgeting, they also get pocket money, and I go, right, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to split it? What are you going to spend on it? And is it worth spending on?
The Saver Plus program is open to those on some form of Commonwealth benefit, students and parents with kids in school. Organisers say they expect to see a further increase in participation from here.
Still to come, Donald Trump serves up fries at a McDonald's drive-thru in Philadelphia. And Melbourne's best dressed dive into Fashion Week.
Tonight, Lydia Thorpe confronts King Charles during a stunning encounter at Parliament.
Jacinta Allen stakes her political future on a bold housing plan.
Qantas fined $100 million for sacking workers illegally.
The parking whistleblower exposing dodgy fines.
And Macca's customers meet drive-through Donald. See you at 6.
We have no idea who the terrorists are.
After the Bali disaster, can life go on?
All I've ever thought about is being good enough to win a premiership. You need to choose between health and body.
And the danger is far from over.
The terrorists are going to strike again. If Samudra has the rest of those explosives, we have a real problem.
Bali, tonight on 9.
Oh, and he finds the gap. And he's through!
Earthwise's new plant-powered cleaning action delivers uncompromising results. Incoming. Earthwise. Eco made logical.
You need a bigger place.
Unsure about your next property move? An ANZ home loan specialist can help you navigate your options so you can get to a good place.
Max, bring my car around now! Max!
Boldly redesigned, the new hybrid electric Camry will take you by surprise. Toyota.
Botanica brings you fragrances inspired by nature, so we've partnered with WWF to give back to nature. This month in Woolworths, $1 from every Botanica purchase supports WWF to help regenerate Australia's vital native landscapes.
Time is running out to enter Tripadeal's 25 million Qantas points giveaway. Book a tour, cruise or exclusive hotel package by October 28 and go in the running to win 1 million Qantas points. Choose from our huge range of bucket list deals and earn 5,000 bonus Qantas points just by making a booking. Plus, continue to earn 3 points per dollar spent on every holiday. Search Tripadeal now.
Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed battery with dual safety monitoring technology, all for a guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
My gel creation for a brilliantly clean toilet.
But there's a better breath way.
Breath Brilliant Gel all-in-one. Powerful cleaning, grime protection, boosted fragrance and an impressive shine. Absolutely brilliant. Breath Brilliant Gel all-in-one.
Protect your #1 mate with Australia's #1, NexGard Spectra. It's the most complete protection against fleas, ticks, mites, worms and even heartworm, all in one tasty chew. NexGard Spectra.
Donald Trump has taken a drive-through detour on his campaign trail to McDonald's, donning an apron and serving fries to potential voters in the crucial swing state of Pennsylvania.
I like this shop. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Mr. Look at that. How are you? Thank you, Mr. President. Nice to see you. You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you. You're not ordinary. I mean, thank you so much for everything you do. I can see. We pray for you. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
His supporters were certainly loving it, showing up in the hundreds to catch a glimpse of the former president just 2 weeks before Election Day. Australian scientists could be on the verge of curing paralysis as plans are announced for world-first human clinical trials. Details from Claire Todd-Hunter.
Griffith University researchers believe they may have found a way to treat chronic spinal cord injury by taking cells from the nose and using them to create what's called a nerve bridge to repair the damage.
Phase 1 of human clinical trials announced today in what could be a major breakthrough for more than 20,000 Australians living with spinal cord injuries, taking place in southeast Queensland at a yet-to-be-confirmed location, but believed to be at a hospital on the Gold Coast. Scientists hope this treatment could allow participants to regain function and feeling with the help of long-term intensive rehabilitation.
If a person can move a finger again, that means they can pick up a fork and feed themselves. Or they can control their bowel and bladder function. That's going to be life-changing.
Repairing the spinal cord is now a real possibility, and this trial will help us to discover what people's responses will be like. And
recruitment is underway for up to 30 volunteers with chronic spinal cord injuries to take part in the trials, getting underway early next year.
It's been putting local creativity and talent in the spotlight for 30 years, and Melbourne Fashion Week has launched to do it all again in 2024. From runways to exhibits, organisers say everyone's invited to join the action. Stephanie Anderson has more.
Well, spring is certainly event season in Melbourne, and this is the latest addition to the chock-a-block calendar. Fashion Week officially launched in a laneway between office buildings in the heart of the city. This year marks the 30th anniversary of Fashion Week, which works to provide a platform for emerging and established brands to step into the bright lights.
There are so many designers, models, ambassadors and creatives who have graced our catwalks and then got on to do some incredible work both nationally and internationally.
This is the bones and roots of fashion in Melbourne, and I know even as a young brand myself, we showcased here at Melbourne Fashion Week, and now we're overseas as well.
It does translate into sales, but it also translates into brand building and awareness.
Fittingly, there's nods back to the 90s, bright and bold, and the fashion experts say everyone can take inspiration from the runway.
You can attend and get a lot of inspiration. Be reminded that you have that jacket at home, but I can buy that dress, and that dress can be worn season after season.
Lots of the events this week are ticketed, but there's also some free options in the mix, with organisers keen to ensure the fun is accessible to all.
You don't have to be a fashionista to come along and enjoy so much of the activity that we've curated for this year.
There's more than 100 exhibits, runways and sessions in the schedule for this week, being held in landmark buildings and laneways across the city.
Livinia joins us now with the latest on the weather, and blue was the colour of the day, Livinia.
Oh, Dougal, blue skies everywhere today. It was delightful, and we have an even warmer day tomorrow. But if you're thinking of having a swim in the bay, the EPA warns it may not be suitable for swimming after the storms last Friday. I'll have our weather forecast for you after the break.
Coming up in Melbourne's 9 News, Royal Rumble. Senator Lydia Thorpe storms the King's address to Parliament. See the pictures at 6.
Also, a major tax scrapped. The Premier tries to put her stamp on the housing issue.
Qantas penalised for illegally sacking workers during the pandemic.
9 News investigates the parking whistleblower exposing dodgy fines.
Donald Trump tries his hand at Macca's.
And a perfect spring day for the start of Melbourne Fashion Week. 9 News, your news. It's coming up tonight at 6.
With Cold Power's unique cold water enzyme, clothes live on and on.
Hungry Jack's new Cosmic range is out of this world. Experience a cosmic storm. Delicious creamy soft serve covered with cosmic syrup and explosive popping candy. Or get a mind-bending space shake. This event won't last long. Now at Hungry Jack's.
Frustrated with your whites turning grey over time? Try new Vanish Gold Pro. At 20 degrees, it removes tough stains better than detergent alone. Plus, it keeps your whites crystal white even after 50 washes. Trust Vanish, forget stains.
When your child is ill or injured, everyday moments matter most. Help keep families together. Learn more about Ronald McDonald House Charities today.
If you suffer from frequent heartburn, try Guardium Acid Reflux Relief. Just one tablet gives you 24-hour protection from frequent heartburn. Now just $9.99. Guardium and Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky. It's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
The cost of living is out of control, especially electricity prices, and now they're expected to soar by a further 47%. Can you believe that? That's why we invested in a solar battery from Australia's largest installer, Solar Battery Group. Avoid shocking power bills with Australia's safest and best value solar battery. Get a fully installed, market-leading solar battery with dual safety monitoring technology, ensuring automated shutdown for unparalleled fire protection. Latest energy management software, full system and safety check of your existing solar, plus detailed return on investment reports. All for Australia's guaranteed lowest price of $3,200. Only while stocks last. Call Solar Battery Group today.
Don't let muscle pain hold you back. Reach for Voltaren ML Gel 180 gram, $27.99 from Chemist Warehouse. It relieves pain, reduces inflammation and gets you moving from sore to score. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
This weather report brought to you by the Leo Messi fragrance, exclusive to Chemist Warehouse. Shop in store or online today.
Hello again. We relished some spring sunshine today after a low of 10 under blue skies and light winds. We enjoyed a maximum of 27 at 4 o'clock. Northern suburbs had a foggy start this morning, down to 6 at Coldstream, 10 and 11 through the west, then maximums in the mid-20s and up to 27 at Tullamarine, Epping and also Ringwood. Around Victoria, maximums of 25 through the southwest, 19 and 20 through Gippsland, and warming up in the north, 27, 28 and 29 along the Murray. Mildura cracked the 30-degree mark. Around the nation, a right royal top of 28 in Canberra, Sydney sunny and 23 tomorrow, a few showers and 25 in Hobart, 38 in Alice Springs and 34 for Darwin. For Victoria tomorrow, mostly sunny and dry with temperatures above average. Shepparton up to 32, Bendigo 30, Ballarat 28 and in the Mallee temperatures of 35 and 36. In Melbourne, a mostly sunny day under northerly winds, a low of 15 and a top of 30. Wednesday, light morning showers and a low of 14. Then a partly cloudy day with maximum of 22 under winds becoming fresh in the afternoon. So we need to make the most of tomorrow's sunshine, Dougal.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Livinia, thank you. And that is 9 News for this afternoon. We'll have more on the day's top stories in 9 News at 6. Thanks for joining us.
These players will need knowledge and they'll need luck, but most importantly, they'll need the favour of our unpredictable machine, who'll